New Lenox, Illinois. I've been in business for quite some time and working mostly by myself. It's a little difficult. Only the dozens and dozens of Mustang parts cars that I have in stock to let everyone know that I am working as best I can to make all these parts available. And when I say all parts, I mean down to the last nuts and bolts that are Ford correct. I'm getting calls from restoration shops and body shops and Ford dealerships that can no longer get these items. And that tells me that it's beyond your local hobbyist, collector, or even the that I would get calls from. I normally take higher inventory of what's available in the yard as far as parts, and I thought I'd August 24th, 2022. See if there's any questions they might have about what they specifically need or something. Post a group of products I'm getting ready to sell, but I don't really show much more than the vehicle's inventory. And I want to take this opportunity today to let you know that these are the parts and cars that will be future inventory in most cases. I learned that if you take and sell a door, here, let's go over here to this white GT, for example. If you go over here and somebody needs a white door, well, you got to take the fender off, you got to take the door off, you got to put another door on, and let's see, live chat. Anybody there? I see that we got one watcher. So what I've realized over time, being that this business is something I learned kind of as I was growing, you don't want to spend an hour taking off a fender, removing the door, disconnecting the wiring, though it makes that customer extremely happy that they got their 91 GT white door with the red molding. It really costs Encore a lot of valuable time. So in the past 5 or so years, I've really tightened up how much I pull directly off of a parts car. And what that's done is it's kind of had a boomerang effect in some ways. And somebody tells me that, you know what, I really much. And I get kind of caught with my pants down. And I tell them, well, that one, I don't want it because to get that trim out, let's take the glass out and manipulate all the interior that might get wet. And I'm really trying to work from my loose available inventory. And so if you're on Facebook, you'll see this floor pan here, nice clean floor pan. Hi guys, I see you got a couple watchers tonight. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up. This is one of the first couple times I'm going live. So I just want to know what it looks like when they come in. Kind of want to get comfortable doing this. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. So Encore has not been really selling directly out of the salvage cars area. I've mostly been selling out of a few warehouses. And what those warehouses have, for example, this car here, it just came in, so it hasn't been inventoried yet. What came in most recently before this one? It's going to be one of these 97, 98 cars over here. So what ends up happening is I've got new inventory that still needs to be dismantled, but I've acquired other businesses' inventory, basically smaller companies, and I've also parted out. If there's 80 cars out here, 100 cars, there have been over 100 other cars that have already been processed. So we're here in the GTs. So these are in the 200s. Could even say in the high 200s, mid 200s. So the question I wanted to address today was, where are these stock numbers? I got to get stock numbers back on here. Well, I can see, for example, this one's 202. That's how I do my stock numbers. But what I wanted to address today is I don't want anybody to be scared to reach out to me For example, there's a customer, I don't know if you're one of the ones watching this video or not, I've had a customer all this week asking me for red seat belts. And I've tried to get away from direct, how do I say this? Direct communication, for lack of a better term. When I go to McDonald's, they've got a menu and it says what's available. And I've tried to make my website and the YouTube channel kind of a combination of those two ideas. So on YouTube, there's a video right now of this 94 GT when it first came in with an engine, a 5-speed, a cowl hood, some nice wheels, full exhaust. And the reason that those parts I believe are missing is because I did a YouTube video and said this 94 GT is going to be available for parts right now. What I didn't do in years past was when I was parting out an 83 GLX, I didn't make a video, and I didn't really spend the time then, looking back I should have, to inventory each item as it came out. So the problem I'm running into in 2022 is someone will say, hey, I've been watching you for a while now, and it's really hard to buy from you, and it looks like you've bought a lot of stuff. So where are your parts? What can I buy from you? And that might be why I feel Encore might have the, if not the world's largest selection. Now, this is only 100 cars, and there's a couple of S10s mixed in here and whatnot. But the other 150 or so cars that I've dismantled here, or other businesses that I've purchased, I don't want to give anybody a bad name for their small office here. I have some signage from other businesses I bought out, almost like deer heads mounted on the wall. But between the other cars that I've rented out, it is getting beyond dusk out. So let me walk through here as I can. You know, there was actually T-top roofs were actually part of that acquisition. So is Encore the largest because I've bought so much inventory and have just kind of, like watching Hourglass, been selling things? Yeah, I think it's very possible. I know some of the most asked for items most recently are parts you can't buy in the aftermarket. So that's going to be like, yes, you can buy new upholstery, but everybody wants to have a red tweed driver's seat that matches their rear seats, or a black notchback rear seat that matches their fronts, or an actual Ford 83, 84 front bumper rather than an aftermarket. And I've made some adjustments here actually on site, and I'm beginning to make some adjustments online. The eBay store is gaining 20 items a week, maybe at this time. They changed the way they handle payments for businesses. If anybody else watching this video owns a business, they'll know that eBay went to a managed payments system, which is difficult. Sorry about that. I got to learn where my Wi-Fi. I just got a new internet system and router, so I'm learning where the connection is good. But if anybody's been watching the eBay store for Encore, you'll see I've started adding some things in there that are just the most unique and in most cases obsolete parts that I've been hoarding onto, we're going to go ahead and call it that, for many years. I just listed a 1979-1980 Cobra, new old stock in a box with the instructions on how Ford wants you to install it. Those kind of parts are no longer available. I don't even think in the aftermarket, I don't know what you would do for something that specific. There's been a few companies that have tried to restore, rebuild, remake, or reproduce quarter windows for the Fox body 87 and 93. I don't want to say any names, but the companies that I've seen produce quarter windows in the past 2 to 3, 4 years, 5 years, have not found the right formula. And I recently pulled out some new old stock notchback 87 and 93 quarter windows. Sold one on the very first day. So I raised the price a little bit on the next day, and now have some notchback quarter windows, new old stock, on my website. Or sorry, they're on eBay only. eBay only. While we're here, anybody that's watching, I see we got 3 of you. 1, 2, 3. If each of you guys want to tell me what car you have, parts you're looking for while we're live here. I can even in the dark here, I know what we've got. I'll show you the parts right now. So if you have a black 83 GLX or GT with a 5-speed, black interior, I'm very familiar with people asking for a wiring harness. So because this car is still behind the fenced yard here, it's more or less complete. Ran when it came in. I've dismantled it so it can't run now. But that's just an example of something I've held on to until either the right time as far as the demand or the right time as far as my shop allows me to dismantle these parts, and anything that doesn't sell right away, I've got to put away in a nice, safe warehouse environment. I've got to put it on a pallet. I've got to put it on a pallet rack. I've got to put it in a container. I've got to get the container back on the rack. I don't have unlimited amount of space out here, but I do have enough space to operate. But I'm running out of space because I haven't been selling those kind of rare parts. Black interior being one of the most sought after. Well, I'll stop here. Let's see. I haven't seen any live chats. I haven't seen any real thumbs up or anything. I got 0 likes on this video. Okay, well, I'll make sure to make the next one more exciting. I'm standing in between a pair of 97 Cobras here. I know this was meant to be a Fox body video, but I haven't really touched these cars since the day they came in. Now, I was just talking earlier about how when a car comes in or is ready to be dismantled, they get a YouTube video. And I did a YouTube video with both of these cars featured, and that's why the Cobra bumpers are gone. That's why the Cobra cluster is gone. That's why the Cobra seats that had actually some Terminator seats in these cars, that's why those are gone. But what I'm going to be doing soon, although I'm going to continue doing the parts cars videos as they are being parted out like you guys are used to seeing, I'm going to start grabbing some parts out of the loose inventory. And what that means is, now, if you go to my website right now, you can't buy a dashboard. Time I had listed a dashboard for any Mustang, 79 to 04. Can't say I've sold a single dashboard in the past 5 years. There was Chris Russell bought a black painted dashboard from me. It's a smoke gray original, but Chris bought that black dashboard probably 5 years ago, and that's, I think, the last dashboard I sold. So there's at least 100 dashboards, you would think, in this, just in this little area here. And what I would do back in the early 2000s, when you could find these cars in a salvage yard, which I'll go ahead and I have permission, so I'm going to go ahead and be in here. What I used to do is I would go to the salvage yards in town as I was growing my business, and I would park one of those hand trucks right next to a couple parts cars, and then I'd go get another hand truck, and then I'd go get another hand truck, and I just kept tying carts together, and I would leave the junkyard with 3 steering columns and a couple center consoles and as many seat belts as I could get out. Parts just got packed away for a rainy day. And I think that time is now. But when I say I think that Encore might have the largest Fox body parts, we're talking 200 to 300 sets of almost everything. I should have 200 to 300 dashboards. They're going to be black, they're going to be tan, they're going to be blue, there's going to be crystal blue, regatta blue, there's going to be smoke gray, opal gray, titanium gray. There's going to be ruby red. These are mostly the 83 to 93 colors I'm talking about. Tan, charcoal gray, and black for the 94 and up. I was talking earlier about this red 94 GT. It's got a red interior. Watching live again. I'll even bust out the flash lamp here. See if that, hey, that makes things kind of better. Except for the shadow that keeps following me. Here's another car I'll stop at, car 163. So if I'm in the mid 200 or figure 3 to 5 years, it's another car. Hood. we're looking at a complete 302. I just had, I would say this week alone, I've had 3 requests for complete 302 engines. Now I know on older cars, and I can already see it on this one. That wiring harness is a tough one to get. It's usually 8 up. The insulation's falling apart. And it's not removed. So that's why I went live today thinking, you know what, maybe I'll get some people to tell me for me to list a certain car. Waiting for me to list certain. There we go. I'm sure there's people that are looking for a Calypso bumper, Calypso fender extensions, Calypso hood, cowl panel, the spoiler. And in storage, I probably have 4 of them. 3 or 4. We lost connection there. Not sure what you guys caught. I was talking about, for example, steering columns. Steering columns are something that I very rarely sell. There are some listings on my website. So it looks like with this particular one, it sold the airbag clock spring. That would be my guess on. But I still have the column. So if you go on my website, you will find airbag columns. You will find tilt columns for an 87 to 89. I don't think there's anything 94 to 04. I don't think there's any 86 to 79. So hopefully there's some comments that pour in after this video is posted as well. I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, I'm looking for the other thing. And what I can do is I can do more videos like this in front of, if I had 6 people ask me for a steering column, which is probably not going to happen. So let's try 302 engines. Let's say I've already had 2 requests and it's only Wednesday. If I had enough comments on this video where I were to think that showing that particular item, and if we want to do live again, I'll let folks buy live right then and there. I'll have the prices ready. I'll tell you the link. You'll be able to see, for example, if you just needed an airbag column and you like what you saw in video, well, you go ahead and place your order and I'll take that one right out. I want this red front bumper off this 96 to 98. I would tell you no, because that car needs to be processed completely. It's still a 100% complete car. But some of these cars that have been dismantled got a full complete interior and it's smoke gray. But it's still a complete dash harness, still complete body harness. Full gray tweed interior. How do we do this here? Something like that. Yeah, full gray door panels, armrests, center console. And if you've ever purchased on my website some of my cosmetic items, they're graded. I usually use a grading scale. I would call this a grade B fender here. It's good, but it's going to need some body work to be bolted on it. I want to try and get away from that system. That's confusing for everybody, and take approval videos where someone's actually ordered something ahead of time, and then I pull that fender, then I pull that bumper, then I pull that steering column. You might see some more proactive videos where I'm going to say, all right, guys, here's an 03 GT, dark shadow gray trunk lid. Be posting it up for sale on Monday. So anybody interested, anybody who's been asking me for the past 2 eBay, almost like when you're trying to buy season tickets or a concert ticket and you got to be first one to get there. You might see that some of these parts get preview videos and then get posted and then aren't going to obviously be available again if somebody purchased them. Full. Come on, let's see. We need the phone there. This is a full set of leather seats. I know the phone's not showing up so great, but a full set of leather seats. And I've got enough people, I think, following YouTube and Facebook now that I don't need to necessarily wait on eBay. I think I can just let everybody know that this is the way I want to start selling parts. Try and take some requests live. Go pull some stuff out of storage or off a vehicle. Like I said, if I know it's something that everybody wants, this vehicle, for example, it's got the earlier Cobra wheels on it. So if enough people said, hey, how much for those Cobra wheels? I'll make a preview video of it, and I'll let everybody know where they're going to be posted for sale. So I see I've lost all my live viewers. I guess I'll go ahead and stop the video here. But I appreciate everybody's time and look forward to doing more with you in the future. Thank you.